Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we're looking at a puzzle called C dot by Arctan, maybe even C dot dot. I don't know, but I suppose we've got a C in the grid made up of dots. I've just worked out why it's called C dot. It's a lovely construction. Actually, it is beautifully symmetrical, isn't it? If around the central horizontal axis, with the only difference being outside the central C. The dots are black on the southern portion and white on the northern. Very interesting. Anyway, we will have a look at that in a moment. Don't forget that on Patreon we have Sudoku hunts every month. March's was Nurikabe puzzle pack by Blobs, and April will have a new one, and we've got all sorts of other content around. We've got crossword videos, connections videos, all kinds of stuff on Patreon. Do check it out. All kinds of apps, including Domino Sudoku, which is very relevant to today. These are dominoes surrounding the black and white dots in our lingo. And Domino Sudoku is great fun. There are 100 puzzles on that, and you can get the Fog of War app as well, which is a bit cheap, a few fewer puzzles, but absolutely splendid stuff there. That's the latest one. Now, there's loads of apps though, but also, of course, SVEN'S SUDOku PAD is linked under the video, and all our merchandise, including the 2025 shirt designed by Amber. It is great fun exploring that too. But have some more fun, test your little grey cells with this puzzle. It's the first link under the video. As I say, it's called C dot, and the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Those separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio, so one's twice the other. And on the marked diagonals, there's no repeat digits. So that is a set of 1 to 9, and so is this one, which I did less well on. There we go. Those are the rules. Very simple, very straightforward. Give it a try. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. Sequences of black dots can be useful, but not so much when they go around corners in different boxes. So let's start with this one, which must have a 2 or a 4 in the middle. So the possible black dot digits in Sudoku are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. They kind of sit in two families, one of which is the 3, 6 family, which has no connection with the other family, which is 1, 2, 4, 8. So when you get 3 dots together, or sorry, 3 cells joined by black dots that all have to be different, they must include, they're either a set of 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8, and they have a 2 or a 4 in the middle. I mean, the others come from 1, 2, 4, 8. Now, it's not the same when they go round a corner in different boxes, because the problem is that these two can be the same. So 3, 6 is a family that comes back into play. If that was a 6, these could both be 3s. I don't know, there must be something about the X, about the diagonal arrangement. I mean, it is worth noting that in this arrangement, these 4 cells all have to have different contents. Now, why is that? That's because any 2 of them see each other, either horizontally, vertically. If you pick any 2 of those, you'll note that they can either sit in the same row, the same column, or the same diagonal. And it's a really interesting arrangement. When you first discover that, it's very weird. I mean, the same's true for those 4 cells and for these 4. But I think it's going to matter here. There's also the possibility that this is a Fistamafel ring puzzle, and that it's going to matter that those 16 digits are the same as these ones, which, if it turns out to be true, will necessitate me explaining the principles behind that to you. For now, just accept that it's true. Feel free to use it if you want. I don't know how to use it, so I'm not planning that. I'm planning to think about this sequence. Oh, there's a parity change here, isn't there? Look, green, pink, green. Right, parity is the quality of being odd or even. Every black dot has at least one even digit on it. And every white dot separates or joins, however you see it, an odd and an even digit, which is why I'm able to, I don't know whether green is odd or pink is odd. Either green is odd and pink is even, or pink is odd and green is even here, but I can definitely colour these cells like this. Now, if green was odd, right, there are two odd digits that can go on black dots in the sequence, in the candidates I just mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. 1 and 3 are the odd ones. So that could be a 1 and 3, and indeed they would be joined by a 2 in the middle. However, think about that for a moment, and what would they connect with through the black dots in their row or in their column? Because all of these have the same sort of pattern, don't they? They've all got this alternating pattern to that extent. And there's our C dot. Anyway, the point is that if that was 1 and 3 in the green here, the 3 could connect to a 6 in the black dot. That's fine. But the 1 would want to connect to a 2. I mean, another much simpler thing to say is that 1 can never appear between two dots where their neighbours, where its neighbours see each other, because 1 can only join to 2 across a dot. Anyway, this cannot be both odd. I think they have to be both even. And I think that idea applies around the grid. So here, those have to be both even, and that has to be odd. Otherwise, you'd be trying to put a second 2 into this group of cells. Just figure that, you know, just work that through for yourself if you're not sure what I'm talking about. But these have to, because of the white dot patterns, these have to be the same parity. And they cannot be odd, because they would be 1 and 3, joined by a 2 in the middle, and the 1 would need a 2 on the black dot in the same row. The same is true here. It definitely is right. Okay, I just wanted to confirm that for myself. Now, does that even help? These odd cells in the middle, they can't be 1 or 9 because they would be sitting next to a pair of the same digit. So they are from 3, 5, 7. And that means each of these strings is either 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, or 6, 7, 8. Oh, this digit, okay. I told you that that was a 2 or a 4. Actually, I could colour that now. What I didn't tell you, because I didn't think of it, and what is true, is that 2 and 4 must appear in this string, whether it's 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. Now, that leaves a slightly reduced population of black dot digits available here. Okay, and I'm... Also, the fact, actually, I'm going to come back to that. Just because 2 and 4 appear here, it's quite interesting for this sequence of white dot digits. Again, we've got a 3-cell ascending or descending sequence up here. But what are its even digits, or what is its even digit? If 2 and 4 have been used down here, there's only 6 and 8 available. And that means we're selecting here from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's quite likely that the middle digit is even, being 6 or 8. If it's not, those are definitely 6 and 8, and that's 7. So that central one can't be 5 or 9. I don't think that's going to help, but it's an interesting observation to me. Let's look at this. I don't think this can be a 1 now. And the reason is because these would both be 2s. And then you've got a sequence here of 2, 3, 4 in both cases. And what can 4 join to on a black dot? Well, it normally can join to 2 or 8, but in both of these rows, we would have had 2 happening already. So it would have to hit 8 in both cases, and that would see each other on the diagonal. So I think we can rule 1 out. Now, I'm not sure about the other digits. If this was a 3, these would both be 6s. Well, then one of these could go up 6, 5, 8, and one could go down, sorry, 6, 7, 8 would go up, and 6, 5, 4 would go down. And I presume you could have different outputs here. Actually, even if both of them were 6, 5, 4, that's weird. That is true. If that was a 3 and both of these runs of digits went 6, 5, 4, you could still survive with a 2, 8 pair there, because 4 can connect to 2 or 8. So 3 is very possible here. I'm going to think about 8 next, which would require 4 here. The trouble is 4 can go down or up as well. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 5, 6, 3. That is possible. 6 is not possible here because these are even. Oh, dingbat. How am I not spotting that? Right. Now, if that was an 8, this would have to be 1, 2, 4 because you couldn't use 8. I don't know. I don't know if this puzzle is now about working out which of 3 or 8 might not work for some reason, or if I'm meant to be looking somewhere else, possibly at all these 4 cells. It's tricky to guess what I'm trying to do now. I don't know. And I mean, maybe I'll find a way through that's not the intended solution path, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time considering what happens if this is 8, because that has an impact on this group of cells. Or actually, if that's an 8, both of these are 4s. That's all that 8 can join to on the black. Now this would have to be 1 or 2. And in fact, if that's an 8, this is a 1, 2, 4 triple. And you've got a 4 there, so that's 1, 2, 4. So that is very prescribed. You're going 8, 4, and you've got a 1 here. Now that means this can't go down 3, 2. Because then you couldn't put a 1 or a 4 there. You would have them both in these cells already in the row. So if that's an 8, this has to go up 4, 5, 6, 3. 8, 4, 5, 6, 3 after a 1 there. Now, this one goes 8, 4, but now this cannot go up or it will crash into a 3 on the diagonal. So this one would have to go down 8, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. And the 3 here would require a 2 here. And then you know what this is. This goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can't fill this cell. Oh, wow, that is quite complicated. But it works. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so this is the starting point in a way. Let me just show you. If that is 8 in yellow, I'm just going to recapitulate this to confirm that I'm right. But first of all, what happens in this row is you go 8, 4. Now this is 1. Because this is a 1, 2, 4 triple, and that can't be the 4 anymore. So that being a 1 means that you can't go 4, 3, 2 here, because then you couldn't fill this cell. So you would have to go 8, 4, 5, 6, 3. 3 there. And going up here, you would also start 8, 4, but now you can't go 5, 6, or you'll crash into a 3. So this time you do go 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. But that sends this row into problems with 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you cannot fill this cell because you've had a 2 there and an 8 there and it sees them both. That is, if that's the way through, I really like it, but it's not easy to see. And I want you to post your break-in if it's not that, because it might be more interesting than that. But I'm going to use it. You know, I could sit here and try and solve the puzzle a different way for you. And there may be a different way, there may be a better way, but I find that quite interesting. And I quite like being able to visualize the 3 struts of this C. Anyway, that puts yellow as a 3. Then these black cells are 6s. Now, these can't be 3s anymore. And we can't, oh, I don't know. No, I was going to say they can't be the same, but this is where we worked out they could be. This digit is basically going to be 4 or 8 in both directions, because we're definitely on a sequence here of 654 or 678. So after 4 or 8 there, what do we get, oops, on the black dots? If it goes 3, 6, 7, 8, we must have a 4. If it goes 3, 6, 5, 4, we have 2 or 8. Okay, maybe we don't, maybe this doesn't solve the puzzle because maybe we don't know the answer at this point. This is strange to me. But let's think about 2, 4 and 8 as possibilities where? Here? Well, they're definitely even. I could colour them. And we're getting some pressure on evens now, but maybe not enough. Right. This is from the 248 family now, or the 1248 family. So is this. It can't be a 1 because it would be, because that can't be a 2. Let's do it like that. So this is 2, 4. So 4 is used here. Now, that's interesting because this black dot pair, with 4 having been used there, definitely, this black dot pair can't be 2, 4 or 4, 8. It's either 1, 2 or 3, 6, but it is not 3, 6 because that can't be 3 because it's even, and this can't be 3 because it's on a diagonal with 3. So it's not 3, 6. So this is now a 1, 2 pair, and the even digit is a 2. There we go. We're in business now. That 2 must connect to a 3 and a 4, and now this isn't a 4, this is 2 or 8. I don't know which it is, but I do know that this is 4 now, and that's 5. That 1 is going to connect to a 2 here. I'm probably about to get rid of the colouring because I think this odd-even business has served its purpose. I'll leave it for now, but I'm not using it. Oh, that is now a 4, 8 pair, definitely. I said I'm not using it, but I'm going to make those 2 even just for now. Now, 1 on the diagonal. No, 2 there makes this an 8. That's very clear. That's on the diagonal, so this is a 4. Oh, lovely. So those are 8s. This is a 7. Now, this pair is not from the 1, 2, 4, 8 family because they've all been used up. So that's 3, 6 with a 5, 7. Okay, I am officially getting rid of the colouring now. There we go. And let's see if we can solve the Sudoku. This is not 4 or 8. So this sequence must ascend as we go down the grid. 8 there. Oh, look at that. That takes 8 out of this group of cells and 9, therefore. And now it's a 5, 6, 7 triple. 4, 3 are a pair there. In fact, one of them's already on the diagonal. So that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, proving its position. This is a naked 9. That's a 1, 2 pair. 7 and 9 down here. Just having a look at this row, only one place for 6 to go. Now we should do some ordinary diagonal thinking. What's useful to consider in diagonal Sudoku is digits that are off the diagonals in 2 of the 3 boxes that a diagonal goes through. So up here, that 6 is off the diagonal. If it was definitely off the diagonal here, then we'd know 6 was on one of these, and that would be the only one it could be on. But it's not, I suppose, so maybe that's not valuable at the moment. I'm just giving you tips for the future. That's 1, 2, or 5. 9 is in one of these cells. This is just Sudoku now, really. Or this is diagonal Sudoku, which does have its own wrinkles. We do need to think about them. But let's just try and progress a bit. I'm not really finding anything to get going on. Ah, 4 in one of those cells. So I do need to know what this is as a group. 5, 7, 6, 1, 2, 4, 8. So 3 and 9 are still to be placed in the column. I don't know how to progress actually. Oh, this digit is 2 or 9. It sees 5 and 7 in row and column and all sorts of things on the diagonal. Pity I can't reduce it to just 1. Oh, do you know what? There is the potato head theorem, isn't there? Which applies to diagonal puzzles, but to use that, I would have to be able to explain it to you, and I don't think I'm very good at explaining potato head's theorem as applied to diagonals. Just so you know, what it says is that this ring can only contain one, there can only be one digit not on this ring, and if there is one digit that doesn't appear on that ring, it must appear in the center circle. And I think all that would do for me at the moment is tell me that 9 was in one of those two places. So it's probably not that helpful. Anyway, 4 in this box is in one of those two. So 4's not in the corner. Now, 4 is there off the diagonal. Where's 4 in the central box? Look, 4 is... Oh, yeah, 4 is not there or there according to that diagonal, and it's not there or there according to these 4s. Or there or there. So 4 in the central box is there. Now 4 is off the diagonal in both boxes 3 and 5, so it must be on the diagonal in box 7, and we can write it in to row 8, column 2. That's the only way it gets onto the diagonal at this point. So that clears up this black dot sequence. This becomes a 1, 3, 9 triple. This is a 2, 7, 8 triple. We've got 1, 5, 6 down here. We're not allowed 1 on the diagonal. These are from 1, 5, 9. That one sees a 5, 7 pair. Now, that was good with 4. What else? 6 misses the... Oh, 6 has already got on this other diagonal. Now, 6 hasn't got on this diagonal yet. It either goes there or there. Then I immediately start looking at the cells that sees, but they couldn't be 6s anyway, so that doesn't matter. Right, 4 in... box 8 is in one of those positions. 8 is in one of those two. No, it can't be on the diagonal. 8 in row 8 must be here. That places 8 in column 8, and that is on the diagonal. And now 8 in the central box cannot be on either diagonal and must be in one of those two cells. This column has got a 5, 7 pair in it, 4, 8, 6, 3. Everything else in the column is 1, 2, 9, and that makes this cell a 5 in box 9. Now this is the only place for 9 in row 7. Now I'm thinking about the diagonal again. Right, 9 was off the diagonal there and off the diagonal there. It's tempting to write 9 into the central cell, but actually all I know that proves is that one of these is 9. In fact, I can do this digit. On the diagonal we see 3, 6, 8, 4. In the box we see 9, 5 and a 1, 2 pair. So that's a 7. This pair is now a 3, 6 pair. So let's look up the column it's in. We need 5, 7 and 9. That's going to give me a triple. Oh, no, in fact, better than that. There's a 5 in one of those two cells in this column. So that becomes a 7. And these are a 5, 9 pair. This is a 2, 3 pair with 2 in the corner this time. That fixes 2, 1. I think we may be moving along nicely now. 1, 4, 9 triple. That's 7, that's 5. We need a 5 in this row. What diagonal can it be on? Both of them, either of them, or neither. That's mad. No, hang on. It's got to be on this diagonal. 5 has to be on that diagonal, but it has to be in that row. There's only one overlapping cell. There it is. That's a 1 to complete the row. I-wing trouble. 2, 8. Oh, we've got 2 there, so this has become a 9 in the centre, which was rather what I expected. In fact, Once I got the 7 there, Potato Head would have told me that. That is 1 or 2, but it can't be 2. So that's 1, and this diagonal is finished. Now we've just got the positive diagonal to do, and the 5 on it is there, and then we can fill in 7 and 6. So all the diagonals are complete now. I suspect we've got everything we need, all the wherewithal, to complete this puzzle now. It's just a matter of speed and pencil marking. We could go into beast mode and nobody could complain, although I'm not finding anything really quickly. It's odd that that pair's not done. It feels that, oh, that's become a 9 instead. Right. That's now a 3. That's a 1. That's a 9. Oh yeah, that central cell really was quite important to the whole puzzle. I mean, I guess that's what the word central means in some ways. 1, 4, that can't be 4, so that is, unsurprisingly, 8s and 4s seem to be opposing each other regularly in this puzzle. 2, 3, 9, I don't know. I may be forming weird conclusions based on no evidence. That is a 2, 3 pair in the center. 3, no, 3s are finished. 2s are finished. 7 and 8. I must be able to do 7 in box 2 and probably 8. Yes, I can. Then it's just 1, 5, 9s left over. That's got to be a 9 because it sees the other 2 digits. And now we're finished. And that's fun. That's a clever puzzle. I like that. I mean, it was a very interesting start. Not easy, but yeah, I would be very interested to know if you've got a neater, a slightly less look-ahead version in the center than I found. But I really liked that, actually. You had to work out the nature of black, white, white, black as a sequence there, apply it there, and even apply it there, and think about the diagonal thing. So I think that's a very clever puzzle. Well done, Arctan, and thank you. I think that was recommended to us by someone else rather than Arctan themselves. I've forgotten who, was it? No, I want to say a name, but I might get it wrong. Anyway, thank you to, you know who you are if you recommended that to us. It's very good, and I will see you again soon tomorrow. Bye for now.